One of the first things they had to do, car manufacturers, before crash test dummies were invented, they would use a pig in a car wreck. So they'd sit a pig, I guess upright, and this little pigs are smart. Pretty good day for this pig. You gonna let me drive a car? Pretty good, pretty fun day. He's got his elbow out. Are y'all kidding me right now? You gonna let me drive this car? I don't even know what that shows you. Pigs don't have necks. That's what I was around when I was growing up. I mean, I look at my daughter and I have more in common with a pilgrim. And pilgrims believed in witches. Note, I would like to say, I think the witch phase was the toughest phase for women to have to go through. Not to get serious, but a lot of people say voting. I disagree. I think it's witch, then voting. I think it's witch, pretty big gap, then, voting. I mean, you jaywalk back then. The whole town was like, there's a witch. You're like, here we go, here we go. And I'll give it to them, because they could have flown away, but none of them ever did. All right, sorry. Look, just trying to get a witch joke in. It's pretty complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. You got to bring up pilgrims somehow. We went to Europe last year. And by the way, we were flying from Nashville to London, and we go, it was 4:42 p.m. Nashville time. So as a family, I said, let's guess what time it is in London. So I said 12:42 a.m. Our daughter said 1:42 a.m. My wife, her guess was 11, and that's it. Yeah, she didn't say the 42. And I was like, just say the 42. And she goes, you know what I mean. I go, I know, but just show her daughter you know what a normal person would say. That started a pretty big fight. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is, yes, the draft is in Nashville. It's very exciting. I like it. I'm from here, if that matters. All right. I'm a big football fan, and I've realized how lazy I am by watching football. I was watching a game, and one team kicked off to the other team. Right, I got up to go get something to drink, and right when I got up, one team kicked off to the other team. And before I could get back, the guy ran a 100-yard kickoff return, and I missed it. So that guy ran 100 yards before I could get 3 to maybe 4 yards. He also had 11 people really trying not to let him run 100 yards. I didn't even have an ottoman. It was wide open. I need to get in better shape. I should do something. You got to do something. But I realized recently I like to golf, and I would go golfing on the road. And one time I was golfing, and I was hot, and I was in the parking lot, and I wanted to change shirts before I got in my car. So I'm standing at the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off. I have no shirt on. This old man walks up to me and goes, "Olivia?" He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, "Olivia?" I covered up, and I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "All right, honest mistake." I was like, "God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia." I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I'll tell you that. I'd love to see her and be like, all right, I get it. You know, like that was an honest mistake. I do travel a lot. If I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan, and on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision, but it's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta, and they were like, we can't. And you're like, all right, I don't know where we go from here. You know, if you can't do, who can do it? Do you call a senator? Is that what senators do? Don't know. How high do I have to go? What do you have to do? You have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their kids their birth certificates. I've never seen mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And thanks. And you got to mail it in. I'm not a big mailing in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. Stamps make me nervous, you know? How many do you put on there? I don't know. And they change the price of stamps, and that's not in the news. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. Yeah, they'll tell you. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. And they're furious. You're like, is it $100 a stamp? I've never seen you that mad. So I will never go through this process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. I was checking a bag once, and the guy behind the counter sees my ticket, says Nathan. The license says Nathaniel. And he was like, oof, this is not good. He's like, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? I mean, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, they're the same. And I mean, at this point, I was like, if this guy finds out people call me Nate, he's going to lose his mind. Like, he's going to call the police to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fight. Like, if you guys want to shoot him or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That was his honest. He's like, I mean, I can't believe you've made it this far. I said, let me try it. Shouldn't I just try it? You know, I was like, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. I mean, I think with 100% face, 70% of the name, that's 170%. I think I'll get through. And he was like, look, I get it, all right? He was trying to relate to me. And this is honestly what he said. He was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. But if I buy a ticket under my nickname Bart, they're not going to let me through. Those are 2 different names. I was like, don't act like we're the same. I am married as well. And it's fine, you know, you just do it. That's what my wife said. So just get through it. This is what marriage is like, you know, just one person talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. My wife always tells me that I don't like the way she talks. And it's not the sound of her voice. I like her voice. I think that'd be a big problem if I was like, it's your voice. I just hate it, you know? To go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. For instance, we took a trip to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from here, Nashville, where we're from. And I was flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? And she goes, noon. And it's 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. She goes, that's what time we leave for the air. Flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, okay, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best information you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She was like, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? I don't know if... We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. All right, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. I just want to buy stuff and her not know I bought it. And that's so hard. I think if I knew the name of my bank, I could do it. But I gotta go through her to get that information. I poke around, I'm like, if I had a bank, what bank do you think I would go to? I also, once a week, walk into a bank, hello, is my money in this bank? I do my own laundry. Thanks, thank you. I think that's what it deserves. My mom did my dad's laundry, so I thought all wives do husbands' laundry. And I've always done my own. And to be honest, I felt it had been forgotten about over these past 17 years. The sacrifice I was making that other husbands didn't have to make. One day, I was like driving home, and it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, I'll bring that up. I mean, I didn't bring it up that day, you know. I was like, I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be in some fight, I'll be losing this fight, and then, I just come, I'm like, I do my own laundry. She's like, fight's over. You win, I forgot how good I got it. So I sit on it for like 6 months, like a long time. We finally get in a fight. I don't remember what the fight was about. Nothing. I don't know. It wasn't laundry. I remember that. So I'm losing this fight. And so in my head, I'm like, this is it. I mean, I was sad to see it go. That's how good I felt. I felt bad for her. I mean, I was like, she thinks she's winning. I'm about to drop a bomb on her right now. So just out of nowhere, I just go, I do my own laundry. And I said it like, they don't make them like this no more. I was shocked that it started a second fight I never saw coming. We do laundry very differently. She'll read the labels, I'll wash a rug and a suit together. I don't know. You want to put your shoes in there? Put your shoes. The washing machine's always a foot from the wall when I get done. It's like, that was a lot of stuff you put in there, you know? Like, yeah. And look, it's almost all wet. I think what I saw growing up, we would go watch, my dad's a magician. So we would go watch my dad do magic at the Wilson County Fair, which county fairs are great. If you've never, they're still going. I don't think the government knows about them, but I mean, we ride these rides that were on the interstate an hour ago. I've done pretty good during COVID. Because I feel like you could I lost some weight during COVID. You could go two ways. If you wanted to gain weight, this is your time. I mean, everybody's fine with it. You can just do it. But I've been doing all that up until COVID. I've always lived by that rule. So during COVID, I was like, I need to stop. And my neighbor started working out in his driveway. And so he's like, let's work out in my driveway. And, you know, I make a lot of excuses during COVID. You're like, I'm just so busy. You know, I can't. I got a lot of stuff to do today. And he's just out there. So I started doing it with him, and he had a trainer. And I'm not a big fan of working out. Never done it. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do upper body stuff. And they go, all right, well, how about we just do legs every day? That's all it is legs. I think it's a huge conspiracy with trainers that you never actually do your upper body. And when you are doing it, I mean, I asked him, I go, is this upper body? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, because I'm bending down quite a bit. And to make fun of my generation, just so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to skip over, another hotel I was at, another syrup incident, actually. I mean, I'm a big fan of waffles, so syrup, I'm around syrup quite a bit. And at a Holiday Inn Express, so the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? That's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so you they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it. It's batter and syrup. They're in containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, you're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, hey, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people, that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, 2 guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was going to miss it. Europe last year. Europe's very old. That's what I learned last time in Europe. Like, because you think we're old as a country, and you get there and you're like, good night. You know, how long have y'all been over here? Australia, very far away. Farther than I thought. Our Earth, a little bigger than I thought it was. And I think we should have went the other way as well, but the pilot had different plans. I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So it was like a new life, you know? I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I'll tell you. If you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away, though. I mean, I thought you bet your life noon, and it's maybe 8:30. Like, 6 p.m., you're like, I don't know how people are out.
How are they doing this?
What are they doing? Why won't the sun go down? One of my favorite ones this was forever ago. We're going to a friend's house, and it was a 4-flight walk-up. And so before fights, obviously I walk faster than Nick, and I used to wait for him, but we've just been friends too long. I can't. We're like an old married couple. I'm just gone. So I knew where we were going, and I knew that he did not. So I leave him, and I go into my buddy's apartment. I was like, Nick doesn't know where you live. So that's fun, just see what happens. About 30 minutes go by. Nick finally comes into the apartment, and I asked him, I was like, where were you? He goes, I didn't know where to go. And I go, I know. So, you've been gone for a long time. Did you go back outside? He goes, I've been in someone else's apartment all this time. He went into someone's, he was just trying handles. And the door opened, he walked in, said, I'm with Nate, and went and sat on their couch. That's how far he made it. Think about where your couch is. That's how deep he made it into their place. And he's so confident. I mean, they had to be like, I don't know, maybe we know a Nate, I've done pretty good during COVID. Because I feel like you could I lost some weight during COVID. You could go two ways. If you wanted to gain weight, this is your time. I mean, everybody's fine with it. You can just do it. But I've been doing all that up until COVID. I've always lived by that rule. So during COVID, I was like, I need to stop. And my neighbor started working out in his driveway. And so he was like, let's work out in my driveway. And, I make a lot of excuses during COVID. You're like, I'm just so busy. I can't. I got a lot of stuff to do today. And he's just out there. So I started doing it with him, and he had a trainer. And I'm not a big fan of working out. Never done it. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do upper body stuff. And they go, all right, well, how about we just do legs every day? That's all it is legs. I think it's a huge conspiracy with trainers that you never actually do your upper body. And when you are doing it, I asked him, I go, is this upper body? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, because I'm bending down quite a bit.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put this energy pretty late in the show. This is what my energy is. Dustin? Look, thank you for having me here. This is very exciting. Got to play some sports, softball. Struck out, but, it's just a pretty big yellow ball. And I like to play, I play a lot of sports. I like to golf. And recently I was golfing, and I got done, and I was very hot and gross. So I wanted to change my shirt before I drove. So I'm standing in the trunk of my car in the parking lot. I take my shirt off, and this old man walks up, and he goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on. I covered up. I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. And I was like, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I'll tell you, I'd love to see her and be like, all right, I get it. That's it was an honest mistake. I don't have a good body. That's the message. It's not. You ever wear those Under Armour shirts, those skin tight ones? I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. It just shows the worst parts of your body. They have like plastic surgery, how they draw markers on you? They should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see what we're going to go after. I did do some sports growing up. I played baseball, and when I was 13, I was playing baseball. One time I was up to bat, and I got walked. So I take my base, I get to first base, and I turned around, and the catcher was still standing there, and he was holding the ball. He's like staring at me, like he was daring me to run. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go. So I ran, he threw it over through second base, ball goes in the outfield. I run to third base, the outfield grabs the ball, they overthrow third base. My third base coach is telling me to go home. This is about to be an inside the park home run off a walk. I won't be on SportsCenter. This is the biggest play that's ever happened in baseball. I slide, there's a play at the plate, and the umpire then tells us that it was only ball 3. This is exactly true. So I've got to get up. Everybody's got to get up. I got to get my bat right where I left it. I got a bat again. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch, immediately strike out. I'm exhausted and just over baseball. Here's what I learned though that day. Here's what I learned. I learned that if you're confident, you can get away with quite a bit. Because no one tried to stop me, and they should have. They knew I wasn't supposed to go. That's why the catcher was holding the ball, because he was like, I don't think he's supposed to be going yet. And then I just run to second. He's like, guess I'm wrong. No one's that dumb. And then he launches it into the outfield, who's barely paying attention. The umpire figures it out, but it's just easier to let me get back to him. No one ever told the parents either. No one ever explained it to them. And they were cheering pretty hard. It's a pretty exciting play to watch. And they just see me slide into home and just stand up and bat again. Like that's just a rule in baseball. And you know what? What's funny too? The year before, I got a legit triple off a walk. So in that moment, I'm like, this is just what I do. You know, like I was like, don't walk me. Like this is my thing. All right. I'm a pretty dumb guy. That's the general. I went to a community college for 1 year, have 0 credits. 0. My loan was like $40. I paid cash. All my classes were outside. We never went inside the building. We would meet at a picnic table outside because our teacher was like, you guys will all be working outside one day. So I've like thought about like if I could time travel, if I could go back in time knowing everything I know now, I don't think you would even hear about it. I think I would just get stuck. I don't know anything. Like I think if I went back, I don't think I could prove I'm from the future. Like who's the next president? I'm like, just name someone and I'll tell you if I've heard of them or not. But I have no idea. I am married as well. It's fine, you know, you just do it. This is what marriage is. It's just one guy talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. This is not. My wife, one time we were out on the lake with some of our friends and we were floating around in the water and there was a guy in a boat right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that, and make you stare at this guy. So I was staring at him, and then I looked at her, and she was staring at him, and I felt like she was staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him to see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her. I mean, we were putting so much pressure on this guy, and nothing happened. We basically just realized we don't have a boat, but my friends were like, you shouldn't try to fight him. Why didn't you go fight him? I was like, I don't know, because I would have had to swim over to that fight. I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I got to get in the boat. Have you ever tried to climb into a boat from water? It's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. I would need his help. That's how that fight would start. Oh, thank you. Is this, all right. We fight a lot, my wife and I. If we get in a fight, she'll give me the silent treatment. And the silent treatment is very common. Everybody knows what it is. And I think you're just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. You know, it's just like something that's inside of you. Here's what made me realize that. I was rewatching the movie Sixth Sense. And look, I'm not trying to do a 6-inch joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I mean, look how old he is now, Haley Joel Osment. It's that many years ago. That's the baby. It's 20 years old. I also have to spoil it for you, but again, it's 20 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But think about when you saw this movie for the first time. None of us knew he was dead too, by the way, just so you know. And if you haven't seen it, like, that's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about it. When you saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in a movie. We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And they don't hide him dying. A guy shoots him with a gun to start the movie. And we watched it for 2 hours, just like, this is what a movie about marriage. This is what marriage is like. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. We have a daughter as well, and when my daughter was to be born, I'm from Nashville, and when she was to be born, we were living in New York, but she was not born in New York. We flew home. She was born in Tennessee. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start, all right? No one gets a leg up in this family. I love having a kid. Kids have very weird energy. Like, their energy is like they want to fight you. They stare at you. They stare at just strangers for so long. And you try to stare back like, I will fight you in front of everybody. And they just look through you. Like, please, I would love it if you tried. I'm a big chain guy. I go to a lot of chain things. I just like to go to businesses that are doing good everywhere. I'm a big McDonald's fan. I go there quite a bit. And I take my friends, and every time I go in there, they're like, I haven't been here in forever. It's like, don't act like I'm the one keeping them afloat, all right? They're doing real good. So I went in with a buddy of mine, another comedian named Louis J. Gomez. And me and Louis, we go in, we ordered our food at McDonald's, and we sit down at our table. And then Louis went to the bathroom. He left me alone with his food. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a prank on him. So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite of it, and I wrapped it back up and put it back on his tray. That's my big prank, right? Like, when he comes back from the bathroom, I'll be like, dude, did they just eat your burger? That's crazy that they're doing that, right? Is that crazy? It's a dumb prank. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. All that should happen is Louis should come, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend who's sitting with him, who also, by the way, dabbles in comedy. And just be like, hey, I just want to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's. That's what I thought would go down. Just a little, hey, did you touch my food the only time it's out of my sight? I just want to know before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting. But instead, I got to learn I'm friends with a lunatic and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and could not have ignored me quicker. He looked at them so fast, almost like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this. I will fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger. And he gets up, he starts walking towards them. I can't believe it's working. We have gotten so much farther than I'm prepared to get. So I just grabbed him. I go, dude, I ate it. Like, why would you not look at me once to see if I did this? And I get him to sit down, and it's weird. Like, everybody's looking at us. It takes 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And it hits me. I just sit there. I was like, you're going to get killed one day, man. I was like, let's pretend I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. You're just going to go blindly fight him. Not even try to size him up, see what he looks like. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself, that he's making burgers, he's then eating them, and then he's wrapping them up and just sending them out to whoever? You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I think you're gonna walk to the McDonald's counter and be like, who ate my burger? And all the McDonald's employees are gonna part ways. They know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back, you see a guy cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer, doesn't even know it, just warming his hands up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for letting me come out, honestly. I appreciate it. One of the first things they had to do, car manufacturers, before crash test dummies were invented, they would use a pig in a car wreck. So they'd sit a pig, I guess, upright. And this little pigs are smart. Pretty good day for this pig. You gonna let me drive a car? Pretty good, pretty fun day. He's got his elbow out. Are y'all kidding me right now? You gonna let me drive this car? I don't even know what that shows you. Pigs don't have necks. That's what I was around when I was growing up. I mean, I look at my daughter and I have more in common with a pilgrim. And pilgrims believed in witches. In our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting because I grew up on a straight street and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, you know, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac. We got very lucky with our neighbors. Our neighbors are super cool, and we're very close with them. They all have real jobs. They went to college and stuff. And one of them is a management consultant, so he manages all the consultants. And yeah, it's a tough job, all right? There's a lot of consultants, and he's like, you better get back, you know? You just can't consult up in here. So he's busy. Our other neighbor's an actuary. I thought that was with birds. I was like, what's that bird right there? He goes, I don't know. And I was like, as an actuary, you don't know what that bird is right there? So now we are basically at Mount Rainier. That was the whole car ride. And if you ever go, just so you know, you have to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone bought it, and they're charging tickets. It's also all uphill. It's a nightmare. So be ready for those things. We drive up, we park, and we're walking up the trail. So went up it halfway. I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, so I stopped them. I was like, hey, is this enough where we're at? You know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, all right, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked.
Everybody's pretty cocky on the way down. I mean, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. They looked exhausted. I'm surprised they're not just babies left up there and rangers have to come down. Whose baby's this? That's ours. We're gonna let it grow up and come down on its own.
PETA had to shut down. This was again, like the 1980s. I was alive. You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women. And when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? But it never crossed our mind to fight it. I took a typing class in 7th grade. That's how, and I thought it was a waste of my time. In my head, I was like, who's gonna be typing? Cursive is the future. That's why I like, there's the future. I don't know what's going, I don't know technology. I don't know what AI is. I don't think you get to know what AI is and also see a donkey jump off a high dive. I think it was one or the other. And I saw the donkey, so I'm out. If I send an email and it says the file is too big, I don't know what to do. My best guess is I try to resend it. That's what I try to do. You know how dumb that is? The computer's like, no, and I go, what about now, though?
I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. He's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right? Because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it, let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know. One thing I got when I hit my foot was claustrophobia. Never had it. Actually got it here on the Simpsons ride, which is what's crazy. I mean, we're yards away from where my life fell apart. I rode that ride with my daughter, and we're sitting on it, and we had another buddy, and he has his 2 girls on, and so we sit there, and they pull the bar down, and the bar, my leg gets stuck in the middle, and it just opened a door that I never knew was there. I mean, it's like a problem. I had to stop the ride. It's super embarrassing to stop a child's ride and just be like, I'm just waving, I'm like, I can't do it. And then they opened the bar, and they go, all right, you can do it again. I was like, I'm out, dude. And no one got to ride it because I couldn't ride it. We all had to leave. Yeah, ruined it for everybody. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny, though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happening to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person is just all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the 3rd row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up, and it just starts hitting me. And I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? We're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the... You mind if I drive the Uber? You think I could drive it? I'm married. I'm still married. And thanks. Yeah. I like to say it, like I'm at the same job. Just like, yeah, no, still work there. Yeah, right out of house school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. A lot of kids, when you pack now, you got to be careful because a lot of kids have peanut allergies now. And our daughter actually has cashew allergy with tree nuts. And so I don't know what tree nuts are, but it could kill my daughter. The doctor just goes, can't have tree nuts, and that's it. He left. And I was like, we'd love to know. I don't know where nuts came from, but apparently they come from 2 different places. And one of them's a tree. I feel bad. I'm here. Look, I want to defend all these kids with peanut allergies. I don't think they get defended. They get yelled at by adults. We got a lot of adults addicted to peanuts in this country, and they're furious. I haven't had peanuts in forever. You could take peanuts out of my life. I don't think I would notice. And we just have adults are yelling at these children like they chose it. Like when they were born, the doctor goes, "Hey, do you want to be a nightmare to everybody?" Every scenario is life and death. You ever been on a plane? They just announce it. These planes just serve pretzels and be done with it. But they try every flight, and if they can't, they just go, all right, everybody, can't have peanuts today because that loser kid right there. And these grown-ups are booing them. They're just, the only reason I'm on the flight is for the peanuts. I don't even know where it's going. I'm married as well. And me and my wife just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary. And we've been together for years. And I met her, it was before I ever started comedy. We both worked at Applebee's together, is where we met. We're big Applebee's fans, still to this day. Hold on. Let me just, it feels like, yeah, that's a good one. Are they not all doing the same job? And they just be like, well, I'm already over here, so you don't got to come over here, That's what it seems like they should do. They should talk more and go, I'm over here. And he goes, oh, okay, I didn't realize you were over. He's like, yeah. So don't go, I'll stay over here and you stay over there. That's like our main thing is that we can stay right here, All right. My wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked me, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that life would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. One thing I got when I hit my foot was claustrophobia. Never had it. Actually got it here on the Simpsons ride, which is what's crazy. We're 100 yards away from where my life fell apart. I rode that ride with my daughter, and we're sitting on it, and we had another buddy, and he has his 2 girls on, and so we sit there, and they pull the bar down, and the bar, my leg gets stuck in the middle, and it just opened a door that I never knew was there. It's like a problem. I had to stop the ride. It's super embarrassing to stop a child's ride and just be like, I'm just waving. I'm like, I can't do it. And then they open the bar and they go, all right, you can do it again. I was like, I'm out, dude. And no one got to ride it because I couldn't ride it. We all had to leave. Yeah, ruined it for everybody. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happened to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person is just all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the third row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you know, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? We're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack do you mind if I drive the Uber? Do you think I could drive it? I'm married, I'm still married, and thanks, yeah. I like to say it, you know, like I'm at the same job, just like, yeah, no, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. To go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not... You know, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. Little side note, I would like to say, I think the witch phase was the toughest phase for women to have to go through. Not to get serious, but a lot of people say voting. I disagree. I think it's witch, then voting. I think it's witch, pretty big gap, then, you know, voting. I mean, you jaywalk back then. The whole town was like, there's a witch. You're like, here we go, here we go. And I'll give it to them, because they could have flown away, but none of them ever did. All right, sorry. Look, just trying to get a witch joke in. It's pretty complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. You got to bring up pilgrims somehow. Another one PETA had to shut down. This was, again, like the 1980s. I was alive. You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women, and when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? But it never crossed our mind to fight it. I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know? $50-50 if my zipper's up or down anymore. It's a true flip of the coin. I don't know what's happening. I've zipped up my whole life. And now, just head, like, all right, I'll see you boys later. Just head out. Take my pants off and they come off easy. I'm like, oh, that was 4 hours I was walking around like.
We got very lucky with our neighbors. Our neighbors are super cool, and we're very close with them. They all have real jobs. They like went to college and stuff. And one of them is a management consultant, so he manages all the consultants. And yeah, it's a tough job, all right? There's a lot of consultants, and he's like, you better get back, you know? You just can't consult up in here. So he's busy. Our other neighbor's an actuary. I thought that was with birds. I was like, what's that bird right there? He goes, I don't know. And I was like, as an actuary, you don't know what that bird is right there? That process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel. He was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. He was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? He goes, you should go home. That's all I got. He's like, I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is gonna help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, 170%, I think I'll get through it. And this is what he told me. This is honestly what he said. He goes, look, man, I get it, all right? He's trying to relate to me. And he was like, my name's Joseph. That's what's on my license. So I can't buy a ticket under my nickname Bart. They're not gonna let me through. He said it like, right? Like, do you know what, does that make sense? And I was like, that doesn't at all. Those are 2 different names, all right? I should be over there and you should be over here because that's how you're treating me. Like I'm a Joseph Bart. Made it through. And on that trip, I was going to Seattle. And if you've ever been to Seattle, Mount Rainier is near Seattle. That's what they call it that. And I don't know if that's true, just so y'all, it felt like y'all took that like, yeah. We were going out to Mount Rainier, and I was with a buddy of mine. And Mount Rainier is it's the 3rd biggest mountain in America. It's a good one to go to. I don't know who number 1 or number 2 is, but maybe one day it will be number 1, you know? Do mountains keep growing? I don't think we know that yet. It's a good time to see it. It doesn't have the attitude of a 1 or a 2. I took speech in college. I would ride there with my friend, going to a business class or something, whatever you go to. I was like, all right, I'll catch you after speech. And I still say a lot of words wrong. That's what I don't understand. I say poem, which no one ever knows. Poem, like, yeah, P-O-E-M, I go poem. We'll fix that, speech class. What if I want to be a poem writer? What if I have a lot of great poem ideas? And no one takes me serious because I'm like, listen to my poems. I say super southern one, oil. I don't even know how to say it, like how to y'all. Oil, O-I-L. Yeah, I go motor oil, like tin full. I mean, Southern Community College, that should be mandatory. Did they fix that? They should write OIL on the board. And I just go, They go, all right, we're going to take care of that, all right? There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. He's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it, let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? All right, this is it. This is fun, huh? This is, yeah. I mean, let me tell you, 20 has been my favorite year. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, you know, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news, they go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But it's funny. I told my wife that. I said, they said there's UFOs. And she just went about her day. I mean, you might even watch this and be like, oh, I didn't even hear that. And that's the point. That's how amazing 2020 has been. I also feel this is a good year to see where your friends are at. You know, like you want to be in the middle, I think. And I've got friends that they take a shower with their mask on. And they sleep with the mask on because they have a hamster, and the hamster probably has it, and they live alone. It's just them and the hamster. And I also have friends that I don't think have even heard about COVID. Like someone told them to try to go get it. That's how they're living. I have friends too that they tell me they already had it. They're like, I had it. I had a fever. February, had a fever for a couple hours, so probably had it. I had one friend, he told me he had it in 2015. Convinced. He goes, I had it in 2015. I was the first, and it just didn't catch on like it has now. But I can tell you one thing that's gone forever is coughing in public. That's a wrap. I mean, you drink water wrong at a restaurant, just go walk in traffic. The whole restaurant just stops. Your table would be like, get out of here. Get out of here. And you know who that's going to hurt the most to cough in public? My parents. That's what I feel, because that's one of their favorite things to do, cough in public. They love it. That's all they do. They cough everywhere. My dad's choking constantly. If he's not choking, that's when we get worried. That's how much choking he's doing. We go to a restaurant, and they're like, is you okay? I'm like, oh, I didn't even, yeah, that's just what he does, you know? And wives are the ones that keep it together the longest in a relationship. If you see an old married couple, like 80-year-old, they're 80, the wife is she's with it, and her husband, where are we at right now? Like our brains fall off a cliff, dude. Like she's the only reason he's out is because she's like, you better get out and let people see you a little bit. It's like some zookeeper walking some old gorilla around. Let the kids touch you. Everybody's trying to feed, don't feed him that. Well, I think he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's too dumb to know he can't have it. Silver War, that's how I say it. Instead of civil, I go Silver War. Because, you know, look, that might be on me, all right? I'm not. I tell you, I don't even know anything about the Silver War. I had jet lag there. I did not mind it because I woke up early. I woke up at 5:45 a.m. and I don't ever wake up that early. So I was like first in line at the breakfast buffet. Here's what I will tell you. When you get up at 5:45 a.m., noon is pretty far away. I mean, we'll bet your life it's noon and it's maybe 8:30. By 6 p.m., it's like, how are people out? Why won't the sun go down? That's the next phase of my life. I'm getting up early, you know. We're getting up at 9:15, a little bit. Yeah, I've never seen my daughter go to school, but I've been close. This is it. This is, it's something. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. Very excited. I tried to, I'm always like trying to lose weight, and then like you think, I'll tape a special. That will, that'll do it. And then you just kind of, next thing you know, it's already started. So, I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I got to get it together. Like I like to golf, and so I'll sometimes bring clubs and I'll golf on the road. And so I was in Florida, and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back, and I go to the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, "Olivia?" I had to turn. I was like, "I'm sorry." What did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, honest mistake." And I was like, "I don't know." He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not. He's like, "I don't know. That's a dead ringer for Olivia." I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him. So we get our picture, and we come back down, and we're driving back. And on the way back, since my buddy was driving, he did not see the dead horse, I'm like, we can't not see it. So it's just one road, and I was like, I'll just show you where it's at. So we're driving, and we get to it. I was like, it's right here. And I pointed, and the horse was standing up, doing unbelievable. One of the healthier horses that I've ever seen. So I learned that horses lay down to sleep. I did not know that. I don't know what I thought before that day. I don't know. That they lock their knees. That's why they have 4 knees. I don't know. That's what I would have probably argued with you about it. People put signs up that say, like, horses lay down, don't call 911, because people call the police. They drive by a horse laying down in some guy's yard, and they're like, y'all guys should go, like, deal with that. And they're like, some people knock on people's door. Hey, is your dad home? Your horse died outside. And I thought you should hear it from a stranger first. I went to career day for my daughter's school, and I get what I do is very fun. But I was nervous because I'm there with real people, and they're smart. And so I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose. Almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. So the kids like come up, and they're like, what subjects do you use for comedy? And I don't even know what the subjects they're taking. I was like, I do English. I do mostly English on stage. They asked him, how long did you go to school to be a surgeon? And he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like And they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now, so. Look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after it. If you go to Europe, just so you know, it's the most old. It's very old. You think we're old, and you get there, and you're like, good night. What have y'all been doing over here? You just walk around, they're like, that building is from 8. Good golly. I first thank you. I can't thank you enough for coming out tonight. It means the world. And I've been this is how I've been closing shows on the road, and I want to close my special with it. I'm assuming that people saw the Netflix, the stand-ups, the little half hour. Thank you. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for coming out. So some stuff's happened since that special, and I want to give you some updates to a couple stories I told on that special. If you haven't seen it, I'll walk you through it. Don't, think you're going to be lost. And I think you've seen what I've talked about. I bet you're like, I bet we'll catch up quick. So the first update is about the Cape Fear Serpentarium. And if you haven't seen it, you could pause it right now and go watch it. But you might be like, I can't handle really much more of you. But if not, I'm gonna walk you through it, or maybe just a reminder. But a very quick, unfunny version is I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, to a guy's house, and he had a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile. And when I was there, a crocodile got out, and a lady wrote a TripAdvisor review about it. That's the very quick, unfunny version. If you haven't seen it, don't think that's all it takes to get a Netflix special. So the first thing is the lady that wrote the TripAdvisor review messaged me after the special came out. And you write a review on TripAdvisor, you can see how many people look at it, and it jumped 50,000 views the day the special came out. So, but she did not know this for a couple of days. So, she was like, I'm crushing it as a reviewer, all right? I swear. I'll bring your place. You better treat me right, Applebee's. I'll bring this whole place down. So I have a daughter, and my daughter's name is Harper. So a lot of people ask, they're like, oh, did you name her after Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird? And, I've never thought about an author a day in my life. So that never me. My middle name's Lee, and just never crossed my mind. I love having a kid. I love when kids cry. It's just innocent. I love how innocent it is. They cry over a tag in their shirt. And they're all just, they don't like, it feels weird. And then, if you walk, you're like, is your house on fire? Like, I've never seen someone cry this much. It's over nothing. She's on her iPad a lot. That's the hard part. You got to get these kids off. You don't want technology all the time. She just sits there, iPad. She wants to be a YouTuber, which as a comedian makes me furious.
She watches all these kid YouTube videos, and now she makes her own videos. It's just her sitting there going, hey guys, what's going on? Click the links below, subscribe, leave a comment. None of this is anywhere but my phone. I got 90 hours of this. Not on YouTube. Me and him are the only subscribers. Just watches kids playing with toys, too. Like, that's what's crazy. It's not like a show. I'd be fine if she watched a show. She watches just a kid that's like, hey, you don't have this toy? I do. You want to see me open it? It's got 5 billion views. It looks like we buy her nothing. Like, we just show her, if you want to watch a kid have fun, but you're never going to have fun in this house. I don't think things through. That's the message tonight, guys. There's not. There's no message. But if there was, it's I don't think things through. No. I'm a huge Vanderbilt fan. And I think a couple of us, you know, it's a storm is coming together. I did not go to Vanderbilt too. Vanderbilt asked me to say that. And I was like, I think people know. And they go, we do too, but just say it also. Vanderbilt went to their first bowl game in football in like 20 years, in 2008. And so we all go to it. We're very excited. It's at Tennessee Titans Stadium. So me and a bunch of buddies get together. We go tailgate. We get cornhole, a grill. Like we're going all out. And my ticket was at will call. So I was like, look, I got to get my ticket. I'll be right back. So I go get my ticket. And before the lady gives it to me, she ripped it, which means you have to go in. And it was, I mean, a full 3 hours before the game starts. I was like, I don't want to go in yet, you know? And she's like, you have to go. And I just walked in to just an empty stadium, 60,000 empty seats. I go to my seat. I don't even just go to a different, I went to like the one I'm supposed to go to, like a loser. The players are like in jeans. They're not even dressed yet. I was like, I'm real excited for the game. I like startled them. They're like, oh, I didn't even know anybody was in here. Did you go to Vandy? I was like, you would think with how early I'm here, but I also think if I went to Vandy, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. I walked to the top of the stadium and just watched my friends tell. I just set up at the very top. And I was like, I'm already in, guys. Yeah, I decided to save our numbered seats. Nothing was open. I stood in front of a concession stand like I was waiting for an iPhone to come out. Just that gate was down. I'm just like already trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. And they came and opened it, and one side got stuck, and I helped them. I go, I'll get that. So I helped them open it. They're like, oh, do you work here? I was like, I've been here a little bit longer than you have. So and to make fun of my generation, just so it doesn't seem like I'm trying to skip over. Another hotel I was at, another syrup incident, actually. I mean, I'm a big fan of waffles, so syrup, I'm around syrup quite a bit. And at a Holiday Inn Express, so the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? That's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so you they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it, it's batter and syrup, they're in containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, we're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, hey, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Just, I mean, dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people, that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, two guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was gonna miss it. I think about my parents a lot, because I mean, the world is getting very futuristic. And like them, I'm from the 1900s. You gotta watch out for the 1900s, people. We're old. It's so, I mean, my great Aunt Helen from the 30s, she's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf back then. The doctors, they had no idea. They were baffled. That's how good doctors were back then. They just said, they looked at her as they smoked in her face. These were real doctors. They were like, oh no. She's rude, I'll tell you that. I think I was buying a tree. I don't really know. But I tried to give him cash, and he was like, oh, you gotta do a credit card. I was like, okay. So I give random iPad all my family information. It was $75. So he's like swipes the card, and then after it goes through, just so you know, it's a monthly charge. Yeah. He told me after. And he was like, look, you can cancel it on the website. I was like, I don't even know what's going on right now. He goes, put your email down for the receipt. I was like, all right. And I just put my wife's email address down. Guess who's gonna put a stop to this real fast? She'll have that tree cut down tomorrow. I called her, because I have to call her when I sign us up for stuff, and she answered the phone, just goes, I'm on it, hung up. Food is I still have a problem with food. I love processed food. I love it. I'm a farm factory table guy. I want the most hands involved in my food. It's coming to an end. I can feel it. I can't do it anymore. It really hurts. And I tell myself, like, I've done it. My jersey would be retired of eating fast food. I've done all the stuff. I've had Taco Bell and threw it away in my neighbor's trash so my wife didn't find out. We've been married 12 years, and our wedding, it was not good. This is not my fault. This was my mom and my wife planned the wedding, and they're both cheap. So they cut corners. If we hire someone to do something at our house, I promise he does not do that job full time. He'll be fixing our dishwasher, and we're like, do you paint houses? And he's like, yeah, I probably could paint houses, you know? His business card says, how hard could it be, right? Can't be that hard. We got married on Friday the 13th. Got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us. That was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the problem. Like, it's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. Our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, Mom, were you in with the local DJ scene by any chance? She hired someone older than her. He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know, no one cares until he starts messing up, and then you're like, why does he have one leg? When I first started going on the road, I would have to do a wake-up call. That's how I got up in the morning. I'd have to call a guy I don't know and just be like, will you wake me up tomorrow? That's the last person I would talk to, was him. I would call my wife, then a man I've never seen. You promise you gonna wake me up tomorrow? We would tell each other good night. So no one's done a wake-up call in probably 20 years now. So there's a guy on the road with us. He's 24 years old. He's never done a wake-up call in his life. And so we were staying at a hotel, and he saw a wake-up call on the phone. And he goes, I'm gonna do a wake-up call. And I told him, I go, don't do it. That's like an ashtray on an airplane. But he was like, no, I want to do it. All right. So he set it up. Next morning, his phone rings. He doesn't answer the phone. He doesn't know that's the main part of your job. You got to answer the phone and let the guy know you're awake. So then that guy, who's young too probably, is like, I guess I gotta go knock on the door. I've never even seen this service used, so it must be the most important person alive. So he goes up and he starts knocking on the door. But he still doesn't answer the door. The guy goes in the room. I swear this is real. Because look, there's 2 young people that don't know what they're doing. So he goes in the room like, do I have to touch this guy? Is that what a wake-up call is? I gotta touch a guy I've never seen in the dark? So I'd imagine he started making noises, just hip, hit now, hip, 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 hip. Hoping he doesn't have to touch this man. But he had to touch him, I swear. That's when he woke up to another guy going, hey, buddy. It's time to wake up. I remember nothing from school. People talk about history to me, and I'm like, I don't know when you guys learned that. I think we skipped all of this. I almost didn't graduate high school. I had an F in science. I was taking a class called science my senior year in high school. I had an F, and my dad went and talked to the teacher and just said, look, just give him a D. He's not going to do science stuff. And the teacher agreed to it. She was that confident I wouldn't touch the science world. We took ACTs, and I got a 17 on it. And if you don't ACTs, 18 is, they're like, that's not good, man, but you made it. 17, they're like, are you enrolled in this school? Like, what are you doing? The only thing I remember is in 7th grade, we had a kid fist fight PE teacher. That stuck with me. I mean, he was too old to be in 7th grade. He drove to 7th grade. If you're a 7th grade teacher and one of the kids drives, you just know you got to fight that kid one day. Like, I mean, it's just happening. Like, when we were driving, doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "What? You don't know who they are?" And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are. And he was like, a huge story. It was like figure skating is like a mafia hit. I was like, I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it? I mean, I was like, no one knows this. He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, they should make a 30 for 30 if it's that. They did. Another guy's like, they should make a movie about it. He goes, there's a movie. And he's just losing it. Our daughter in 3rd grade, and for 1st grade, she started taking the bus. And it was the first time she ever took the bus. So if you know as a parent, you walk a stop, it's very fun. And so we got her on the bus. She went to school. At the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my cell phone, they have my cell phone. They called my cell phone, and she said, hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on? And I said, I'm her dad. As in, are you crazy? Like, I was like, this is how you thought you would get this information, was to call the dad? You saw a mom and dad's cell phone. You go, I bet the dad knows. I was like, do you have parents? Have you ever seen a family before? You thought, let's call the husband? Unless there's 2 husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you ask a lady that doesn't. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. I had to go get her. I go, all right, I'll come get her. Tell me the name of this school and I'll come get her. Where does she go? So I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. And in the 80s and 90s, kids were getting kidnapped pretty rapidly. And look, I'm not trying to say we were more desirable or something. I think we were outside more. A lot more opportunity, you know? It's a lot easier to get us into vans. Didn't take much. And so parents back then, they would watch TV, and I think it would scare the parents. You know, you realize now everything's a crime show. Everything that you watch is crime, podcasts are crime, movies are crime. You almost like see it so much. But back then, you only had so many channels. And then when they would watch these shows, they were very powerful shows. My parents used to watch a show called Rescue 911. And it would just show reenactments of crimes. It was powerful. I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room. My parents are watching it. I look at the TV. A guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been with my feet out from under the covers because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I mean, I try it every night for 30 years, and then that image pops in my head, and I yank them right back under. I'll be in a hotel room, and I'm like, look, you can't get in here, dude. You've locked everything. And I'm like, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. He's probably already in here. Let this one go by. I mean, like, you know, the hard part is I see them coming before y'all, and I mean, I just see a blinking, like, 5 miles away going, that one looks like it's coming. In my head, I'm just like, I think it's, you know. A couple times I've looked and it was just stars. I like look up and I'll be like, that one's not moving that quick. I feel like we're sitting on top of it. You're like, that's the moon. Is it? I can be wasteful. Like, if something gets to the bottom, I will throw it away. Ketchup. If ketchup gets like that much left, I'm like, blech. She will put the old ketchup with the new ketchup. That way your ketchup's always gross. I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And
I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds?
From elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41, my daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? When to use a or an in a sentence. I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. And if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. What I eat that's the main problem. I eat like a child. It's not good. He goes, let's go through like what you had for breakfast, or your whole day of eating. He goes, let's go through yesterday. And in my head, I'm like, well, yesterday's not a good day, you know. Let's pick another day. He goes, go through yesterday. I go, all right, I had donuts in the morning. And he goes, all right, was it like they were just out or something? I go, no, I drove to it. I drove to it, and he's like, is it on your way? I go, nope, I was late to where I was going because of it. He goes, what about late night snacking? And I was like, well, I had Sour Patch Kids last night. And he goes, did you watch a movie? I go, no, just regular TV. And ate only, he's like, the little kid bag? I go, no, it was a bag. It was a bag of them. If you saw it without a label and someone said, hand me that bag, they wouldn't be confused on what you were asking. I always have trouble going to sleep, and I swear every doctor, it's like I eat Sour Patch Kids and have soda, and I'm like, what's going on, man? I can't. Dude, at night, my brain just doesn't stop. And you're like, yeah, dude, you can't eat Sour Patch Kids in bed. Maybe that's a problem. The final update. That's what this next. The special after this is going to be just all updates. And it'll be something that you don't even know. You're like, remember my car didn't start? You're like, who is this update for? I like to drink iced coffee with milk. And thank you. I told a story. I went into a Starbucks inside a Target. I ordered iced coffee with milk, and the guy gave me milk with ice in it. I did not want milk with ice. I wanted iced coffee with milk, and he heard milk with ice. I have learned that a lot of people do drink milk with ice. People send me pictures all the time of adults just drinking milk with ice, and they stay in the Starbucks. They don't even like run to their car like, this is so embarrassing, I gotta stop it. Like, they do it openly. My wife puts ice in our daughter's milk, and I was like, oh, you do that because of and she's not a big fan of my comedy, so she was like, I haven't seen it. I was like, we have Netflix, you know, and she's like, I don't think we do. I was like, I know we do. And she was like, I'm just so busy right now. So all of it's true, except my wife. My wife does like my comedy. She's very nice to me. But all the rest of it's true. And the truth of it, too, is it's happened to me 2 times. Twice. And let me tell you, 1 time is a lot of times. The second time, you start looking at yourself. You start thinking, you're like, what am I doing? I don't know if I know how to order. I would order it in a mirror to see what it looked. I was like, iced coffee with milk. I was just trying to see what they would see. I thought it was happening. There was a 3rd time I thought it was happening. I was at a Starbucks at an airport, and she put the drink down, and I was like, they're doing this on purpose. I was convinced. that they're just calling each other, like, let's drive this guy crazy. But she just put too much milk into it. It was an honest mistake. And she told me, because she set the drink down, and we're both just staring at it. And she just goes, that feels like a lot of milk, doesn't it? I was like, not as much as usual, but it does feel. So I've changed my drink up since then, and I honestly did it because I don't think I say milk good. I was having this one problem, and I was like, I'm just not gonna say milk. So now I drink iced coffee with cream. That's all I changed it to. I'm tired of saying milk. That's all, they kept giving me milk with ice. So I was like, I'm gonna say cream, you know? They can't do cream with ice, that's against the law. So I'll get rid of the one problem that I had. And I've only been drinking coffee for maybe 4 years, not very long. I only order this one little drink. I get very nervous when I order coffee because it's a whole world, and I don't know the world, you know? They always ask you a bunch of stuff. They're like, what kind of cream? I'm like, just please do it. Just do it. You know? Sometimes they're like, do you want heavy cream or half and half? And I'll go, I'm sorry, I'm not taking questions right now. So if you could just do whatever you think it is, and if it's wrong, I won't even tell you. How about I will walk out of here as if that's exactly what I ordered. I will go outside, I will throw it away, and go try again at a different Starbucks. That's how I'll handle the entire, that's why I think they have so many Starbucks, so you can just keep going. Someone's gotta get it. I have to get my wife's coffee. She has to text me what she wants, because I don't know how to pronounce like most of the words there. So I just phone her, because she wants this. And they're like, does she want it in Sweden? I'm like, guess we have to call her now, don't we? And I make them talk to her. I go, talk to a stranger's wife. Say what you said to me. Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, you know, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, you know? And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. My eyes can read good. It's my brain. My eyes are such good readers. I feel so bad because they're attached to this dumb brain. I mean, they're looking at these words and they're like, you're not getting any of this, man? That's the 5th time we've read that sentence. Let's try another one. Fiction, non-fiction. I don't know which one's the truth. I read every book as the truth, is how I handle it. And from what I can tell, we have a pretty big wizard problem in this country right now. To a McDonald's drive-thru and my window did not roll down. That's the universe saying, give it a rest. And I fought through it. It's embarrassing because they can tell, because I had to pull, because I got to open my door. So it's going to hit the speaker, so I got to drive by it. So the car behind me is like, are you leaving? I'm like, my window don't roll down. And I got to open the door. Now the speaker's by the gas tank. So I got to yell my order out. Now that guy hears it. And then I look at McDonald's screen. Well, they got it all on the board. Just let the neighborhood know what I'm ordering. And then I drove by the window, the drive-thru window, and I got to go by it because I got to open my whole door. So I go by it, and I see them. They're like, where are you going? And I was like, nowhere. And I go by, and they see my whole body sitting in a chair. It's crazy.
If you've never done it, it's the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. You're just sitting there and you're high. They see your feet. They see your feet. They just throw it at me like a bear. Just throw it. Look, in all seriousness, I don't know. No, look, the it's getting very advanced, all right? I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. And this wasn't in, Beverly Hills or like Miami or something. You feel like they would have something like that. And this was in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And if you don't know where Mount Juliet is, it's fine, but I bet you can tell that doesn't sound like a town you would drive through going, I bet they have a pretty good dog bakery here. I went in there, and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store from me? That was her only hope. I talked to her. She had some time on her hand, excited to talk. And her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. If I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. Maybe they're usually busy. Maybe I was on there on a slow dog birthday day. I don't know, all right? She told me everything was organic, and I was like, that's good. That's what I like to hear, all right? This is for that dog that's outside licking gum off the sidewalk right now. And if anybody deserves organic food in our house, this little girl, I'm not gonna waste it on her. It's for that dog that's wandered out in the highway because it doesn't know what cars are. But look, next time you guys go to Mount Juliet for vacation, let me tell you, look, do them a favor, go by there, all right? Swing through, buy some dog cakes. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be up front with you guys. I bought a dog bakery, it's not going that good, all right? We're almost done, so don't worry about it. And I think you can tell. I always think people they're like, he's talking about dog bakeries, he's about out of stuff. Where is this going? On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently, and it's a tough thing to do. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now, and she was very sick. That was a joke. All right, that was a joke. She would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor. All right, a little darker. She was a wonderful dog. We loved her, and her name was Annie. And the reason we got her was my sister worked at a vet, and people do put dogs down for no reason. So if someone brought a dog in that was fine, they just didn't want it. My sister couldn't do it, so she would walk the dog back and then just steal the dog. I don't know the laws on all that, but I'm sure now people are finding out that their dog's still alive right now. So we got Annie. Annie was getting put down. She was a hunting dog, and she was terrible at it. And she was bred to be a hunting dog, and she was just like a misfit toy that just didn't do it. She got shot once, and that's because the guy, he would be doing target practice, and then she'd just walk in front of the targets, and he would hit her. He's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" She had no awareness about her, the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. Retired hunting dog, figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times.
like push her out and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I'm just looking at her like, you didn't feel anything? Like nothing was going, like I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting. So he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck. She runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, I don't even know what we're doing. All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her. And then she's like, you're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see, is there another guy out here by any chance? We take our trash out one of the days. I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it, there is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. I had a hard time in school. When I barely graduated, got into a community college, barely got into a college they have to let everybody in. I think it's because I'm peeing so much longer, and I'm not used to this new old rhythm yet. Because in your 40s, there's a lot of false stops. You learn pretty quick to be like, let's hang back, let's let traffic thin out a little bit. I watch young people come and go. I'm like, tell my family I'm okay.